How gorgeous is this? Tropical North Queensland, home to stunning beaches, natural wonders, and some of the most exotic plants and fruits in the world. We're on our way to the sugarcane and banana town of Tully, just south of Cairns, to meet a plant collector who is really passionate about his tropical fruit. G'day, Michael.
G'day, Graham. Welcome to the jungle.
Thank you very much, and a jungle it is. A passion for tropical plants and his bananas for bananas.
Bananas are my favourite because they're so quick to bear and there's so many different types.
The trees may look all very similar, but on closer inspection...
It's a dwarf horn plantain, a staple in Africa.
Right.
They're cooked just like a starchy vegetable.
How many varieties of bananas are there around?
There's 200 dessert bananas and about 200 plantain varieties.
Isn't that fantastic?
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
It is mind-boggling.
OK, Graham, this is the dwarf Ducasse variety. This is the best-eating bell. A lot of cultures will cook that. And it's a really delicious sweet banana.
Now, these are the little flowers that start out as a hand and eventually become a hand of bananas.
Exactly.
Isn't that interesting? They're very beautiful, and that lovely red sheath around it.
Now, that's the first sign. If you see these lying on the ground, you know, oh, I've got bananas coming.
This is quite a big plant, this one.
It's a giant plant, but it's really small fruit.
Oh.
One of the monkey finger types, Graham. This one, because the plant is taller, we've nicknamed it Super Monkey.
That's a beauty, isn't it? And it looks quite different, the fronds of the leaves, a bit like a giant strelitzia.
It's much more graceful plant than most of the other bananas. Here's a bunch of dwarf red dacres.
Wow, they're a spectacular colour.
One of my favourite. It's so easy to pick, nice and short. This is a variety that Bill Gates is financing, research for a more nutritious banana for Africa.
And that's happening here in Queensland?
Yes.
Isn't that great? That's fantastic. Good way to spend your money. What's the climatic range for this fella?
They would grow in Melbourne.
Right, really?
Amazingly enough, if you find the ideal microclimate, but very easily, I imagine they're growing them in New South Wales.
Wow. But it's not all about bananas at Michael's place either. Look at this. Yes, it's a custard apple. It's only a baby one. It's got a way to grow before it ends up this size. Custard apples are becoming increasingly popular as a commercial fruit and homegrown where you've got the climate. If there was a rating for tropical fruit on sweetness out of 10, this one would be somewhere around about 15. It's a Sapodilla or Sapodilla. The flavour of the fruit is a cross between maybe coffee and toffee, but once you get hooked on it, it's hard to give them away. The Canistel looks like any big shrub or small tree that we grow in our garden. The foliage pretty much regular, but the fruit, the Canistel fruit, it is quite unusual. Scoop out the flesh and it's really beautiful, sort of a real caramelly sort of flavour. Amazing to see the bumper crop of fabulous rare fruit being grown up here, especially given the hammering that farmers and locals have endured from cyclones in the past few years.
To see 20 years' work destroyed overnight.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking to see trees that I'd nursed along for years just all lying on the ground. Just got out there, picked up the trees and tied them up and kept on going.
That's the resilience of the people, I find.
The only way now is just to keep everything shorter. You'll notice that some of the trees there were very short, only 2 metres, and that way they can't get blown over.
Oh, Trina and John, you've got the most incredible collection of fruit here.
Fresh out of the oven.
Wow, look at the colour, they're fantastic. As for when you might see this kind of fruit at your local supermarket...
We're getting better all the time, actually. The first tray of these Juicy Pearl Star Apples will be going down to Melbourne.
It's amazing, isn't it? Look at that. Just like milk, isn't it?
Yep.
And those scones are looking pretty good there.
Well, we're going to have some.
Made with Canistel fruit. Sorry, guys. I'm getting in first. Oh, yeah. They're good. Well done.
My pleasure.
Beautiful flavours.